Make some motherfucking noise!
Ain't nothing but so good. Trick that in the house. Mr. Special, watch your mouth. C-E-R-B and go to the
I like my hoes, never homos in the street hoeing. Things in the state with their ass cheeks showing. Looking fly with the M&Ls, done up in that coupe. None of them like to run up and on. Like the big booty hoes with cute faces. Let nigga hit it on the first day basis. Niggas fake bitch kick game straight. X no down with the diamond name place on. Or in the path sets with diamonds glaring. Keep a nigga staring when you wearing down a Karen. Or skipping shit to keep a nigga looking at you. In the bunk says you can show off your tattoo. Even if you're a Max True player, she ain't
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of yours truly, Uncle Luke Show podcast. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. It's going to be a beautiful day. We're going to have us a good time. We're going to have us a great time. We are going to have us a great time up in here because it's a beautiful day, man. Hey, look, I know y'all getting ready for Christmas. Let me get some Christmas on the page. Since y'all just sitting there chilling, I need to get some Christmas on the page. Let me go on up in here, act like I know what I'm doing. Yep, there we go. We are at Christmas. It feels like Christmas. It feels like Christmas. It feels like Christmas. It feels a little bit like Christmas. Y'all can't be mad at Christmas. I don't want nobody to be mad at Christmas. Y'all come up with all kind of other stuff about days that y'all don't like, shit that y'all don't like. I want nobody to have beef about Christmas. Right now, before I start off, you know I always do it like Uncle Al. Where you from? That hood is fire. You like the hoodie? Hey, you like the hoodie? You like the hoodie? It's the great fit. It's the great fit. It's the great fit. Yeah. It's the great fit. Let me move the microphone out of the way. You know, you got the blue. Yeah. It's the great fit, baby. You got to put the hoodie on. You got to put it on. You got to wear it right. You got to wear it right for the show. Hey, this show is always brought to you by Uncle Luke. It's always brought to you by Uncle Luke Gear. So if you want all your Luke gear, go to www.lukerecord, not with an S.com. And you can pick up all your Luke fresh gear. We got hoodies. That's what I want everybody. I want people to. I said I'm gonna do something. Because I want. My ultimate thing is for a family to, like on Christmas, how y'all dress up with your PJs on, like put your PJs on, hey, Luke hoodie, like the whole family have a Luke hoodie, Luke hat with their PJs on. Man, that'd be so fucking dope. That would be so dope. That would be so freaking dope if a family like put all that on and y'all just be chilling up under the tree with the pictures and all that. Man, would that be crazy? That would be absolutely something special. I mean, I would have to send you, I would have to definitely send y'all a whole bunch of Luke gear. There's no question about it. I would have to send you tons of Luke gear, love, signed, autograph. That's what I'm gonna do. If there's a family that send me a picture, I'm gonna send you some Luke gear signed. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a Luke gear that's signed. And that's how we're gonna do it. And we'll just send it out to you. You guys see, hey, look. We'll work it out. These DMs, you can just go into the DM and do that. We'll work it out. I like to thank everybody who's on Twitter, Uncle Luke Real One, on my Twitter page. I like to thank everybody who's on my YouTube page, my girl Glow. I see you over there. I like to thank everybody who's on Twitter, which is called X. I see y'all. I know you can't see your comments, but I can see your comments right here like that. Like that on Twitter, DOT. I can see y'all. I can see you. On Facebook Live. We're on Facebook Live for the first time ever. we are now on Instagram Live. Instagram, welcome to the Uncle Luke podcast. We are broadcasting simultaneously through how many platforms? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, live right now. So welcome to the party, Instagram. I figured out how to get you all on here live. We only see Instagram is different. They only give you 45 minutes to an hour. You can only be on Instagram for an hour live. Other than that, they're going to cut you clean off. So all my good friends on IG, I appreciate y'all joining us for today's show. It's nowhere in the world I can check. If somebody can go over there and check to see if it is live on my page, Uncle Luke Real One, because there's nowhere I can check. The thing just told me to hit the button and say live, and I'm over there. Yeah, I did check. I'm looking right now. We are live on Instagram. I have to go to Instagram page and see all the people on there. Yeah, I have to go to the page and see them all on there. How y'all doing, Instagram? I got to go directly to their page to see their comments. Look at that, Compton on there. Compton, everybody, hey, Instagram Chi-Town is on there. I'm just saying, but they're on a super delay. For the first time, we got IG in the building. Shots out to Instagram people. Y'all over here. See, they don't show up on the page like you all do. You know what I'm saying? Lisa Bell. What's up, Lisa Bell? Happy Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving is over with. What now on Christmas? That's over with. That's done. I got my Christmas hat on, the red. You know, I got all flavors. I got the Luke hat, all flavors. Hey, we got a really big show today, ladies and gentlemen. The show is about the pop-off. I hope y'all been liking these shows lately. You know, I've been feeling my way around. Please like, share, subscribe if you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe to the show because it's gonna be big today. We might have some special guest stars that pop by. You know, we have our regular people who show up every now and then. Our good girl D from D Love Sports. She comes by every now and then. We love D. We love our good friend Streeter. Streeter normally pops by every now and then. You know, that's the pop-out show. You know, and all my other good friends, what I do is I'll tell them about the show late. And that's my fault. To be honest with you, it is my fault. I tell them so late, and they be like, yo, man, you just told us the last minute about the show. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry. I did. You know, I just, you know, it's just, I got to get my shit together for the new year. But we're feeling our way around. We're finding our way. We know we like this location in the theater versus the other locations. You know, I let people give me their opinion. You know, I have some good people that tell me, hey, look, man, we like the outside location. We like with the nostalgia in the background. But then most people like this particular location here inside the theater right here. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you guys for joining us today. And that last show, I don't know how I'm gonna come behind that last show. Real talk. That last show was fucking epic. That last show was bananas. I mean, that was Warren Sapp. We had Brad. We had Footballville, Streeter. We had, you name it. We had everybody on that last show. Trick Daddy. I mean, that show was epic. I thought the show before that was big when we had Alonzo Hosman and all these. And let me just say this for you guys. I've been kind of holding back with the guests because I want to get the actual podcast where I'm really comfortable, where I feel like, okay, good. I want to invite people. It's almost like getting your house in order. You know, when you get your house in order to, you know, when you get your house in order and you say, this is how I want it to be before I bring people over. So I'm like really feeling good about it. And I've started to gradually bring people over to the house and let them feel comfortable in coming on here. But at the same time, let people understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. Because we sports, politics, and entertainment over here. We ain't just one thing. We ain't just talking sports. We talking all different types of things because we're versatile like that. It's not that many people that's versatile like that. So we'll have people from all genres. We'll have politicians over here talking politics. We'll have people over there talking sports. Whatever the hot topics are of the week, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We can, we're versatile. We can get on with the best. But that last show, like I say, man, that was crazy. I mean, here's an excerpt from the last show. You got to check this out.
Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it disrespectfully. You could melt a Parker and pour them on not one school in Dade County. You know that. Y'all got lucky that time.
As you looking at the most decorated cane in school history from a Parker. Wake up, boy.
But one, you talking about one. You talking about Carlos. You talking about one player. Carlos, we got
my umbrella hat on. Stop
it's
that.
50 kids from Miami-Dade County in the NFL. How many from a Parker?
Uh-oh.
And they ain't playing with the damn.
Hold on.
Hold on what?
Say that.
Hold on what?
Which one? The kid from Miami playing for damn.
Which one?
Who was the best? The best kid in college football, his name is Malachi Tony. He's right here from Miami-Dade County.
Oh, that's right. We watched him on the Heisman. That's right.
See what I'm saying? That show was bananas. And if you miss any of these Luke shows, you can always go to my YouTube channel, Uncle Luke TV, and you can see the entirety of all these shows. And I want you to go over there and check it out. But when you go over there and check it out, make sure you subscribe because you're gonna need to subscribe to this. I mean, we got so much shit. I mean, by the time we get to the new year with this show, and that's why I want it to all be polished for the New Year's, because when we get to the New Year's, it's gonna be fully polished and everything gonna be just like clicking. But we're gonna have some great time today, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, that last show and any other show, you need to go over there and check it out. The Highsmith show was dope. I mean, we talked about football, we talked about everything. I mean, that was another epic show. And on the Highsmith show, people, on the Alonzo Highsmith one, we had another Hall of Famer, Edgerrin James. See, the thing is, I know so many Hall of Famers. I mean, we're going to a Hall of Fame event this year when our other boy get in, wide receiver, University of Miami. When he get in, hopefully he gets in. But at the same time, man, I'm just holding back, man, because I got artists after artists after artists. I got politicians that's willing and ready to come on. We got more athletes to come on. I mean, listen, I'm just chilling. Like I say, I'm just getting the house in order. And when this house is in order, it's going to be the dopest show you could ever imagine. But if you want to look at any of the past shows, go to my YouTube page, Uncle Luke TV, and you can see all of the past shows. I mean, they're dope. You can catch up on everything that's been going on. You can see the gradual transformation of the actual show. It's a beautiful thing. Man, it's a whole lot to cover. It's a whole lot to cover this day. I mean, there's some shit. Where do we start? Where do we start? Shouts out to North Carolina. I see y'all in the building. Hey, and I want y'all, again, I always want you guys to be involved in the chat. Wherever you're at, if you're on my Twitter page, if you're on Instagram page, wherever you're at, be involved in the chat. Be involved in the chat. Say the shit that you want to say because, again, this show is this is a people's show. This is not no self-centered Luke show. But again, today we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and how people think he should be such a great person. How they jump on him. How these pundits jump on him as if he's playing with this great offensive team, this great O-line, this great group of wide receivers, this great running backs. Then we're going to also jump into the tour, which is the headline of the day from South Florida, Tua being benched. How everybody feel about that? Most people are saying Brian Flores needs an apology from the Miami Dolphins. We'll talk about that, and I want you guys to chime in into the chat. Then we got a big game this weekend: University of Miami versus Texas A&M up at Texas A&M. That's going to be something else, and then another political conversation. I want to get into this Rob Ryan, Donald Trump. You know, that whole thing. You know, and last but not least, you know, the big question is right now, a lot of people are feeling that the brothers and sisters on ESPN are on ESPN to sell out Black people, to talk down on Black people. So you've been hearing all these different controversies and all these big cat fights that's been going on for a minute. We're going to get into that. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get into this. Miami Dolphins just benched Tua. Now, here's the deal. I said a long time ago when Brian Flores was there, Brian Flores did an extensive evaluation of the quarterbacks. You see, when quarterbacks are getting drafted, when anybody's getting drafted, guys go to the combine. This is what happens in the combine. People go to the combine and they do their testing. It ain't just what you guys see on TV, the 40-yard dash or the shuttle run or the broad jump or them lifting 225 times or better. That's not just the combine. What you don't see in the combine is the meetings, which they won't put a camera in the background for the meetings. Every player has a conversation with each team. Every player goes to each team. They have a meeting set up. Okay, I'm going to the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to the New England Patriots. And every player that's draftable have a meeting with the team. It's a brief meeting. You know, then it's a follow-up meeting. You know, there are follow-up meetings where the team fly the player in and fly them over here. And, you know, if they in a position to draft that person, then there's a situation where if you know you've been drafted in the top 10, these top 10 teams have these drafts, you'll and you feel like you're going in the top 10, you'll go meet with those individuals even after the draft, even after the combine. I'm sorry, not after the draft, but after the combine. So it's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of getting to know the actual player. What's on their mind? Do they connect with you? Is this guy a dog? Is he a puppy? Is he a joke? Based on your experience, whether you're general manager or you're a head football coach, based on your experience, how this guy is going to be able to deal with the adversity and the adverse situations when you become a football player, less long as a daggone quarterback. And so now when you got a guy like Brian Flores, who's been with the New England Patriots, who's been around the GOAT, Tom Brady, the GOAT as a football player, not necessarily the GOAT as an executive because he's doing a horrible job at that. That's still to be continued. But the GOAT as a football player, when you've been around him and see how he operates, and I know a lot of guys from Fred Taylor to Ocho Cinco to a lot of guys that played over there with Tom Brady, and the respect that he demands and the way you practice and the way you conduct yourself, when you're around a real quarterback and you know this is how a quarterback is supposed to operate, when it's time for you to have your own team like Brian Flores, when it's time for you to go up in there and start interviewing quarterbacks for your first quarterback, this is my team. I just got the opportunity, and now I want a quarterback that's going to catapult me to winning multiple championships, help me become the coach I want to be. I want to be here like coach from the Pittsburgh Steelers forever, coach from goddamn Harbaugh. I want to be here. Me and this guy will be here for 14 years. That's the ideal that goes into your mind when you get ready to draft a quarterback. So Brian Flores is sitting up in there along with Chris Greer, and they have this big tug of war and say, this is what I want. I want the kid from, what is his name? The kid from the young man from the Chargers. who's at Oregon. I'm having a brain freeze right now. Help me out in the chat. Help me out in the chat. Brian Flores wanted him. The organization and the fans, and this shit is all on the fans. The fans wanted who? Tua. Fans walked around, tank for Tua. Tank for Tua. They had the shirts on. They had all the shit. They had all the bells and whistles. Let's tank for Tua. We want Tua. Literally. I went out there with my homeboys from Tootsie's, the managers. We went to the Dallas game, and they homeboys had tank for Tua. They was like, hey, they just going there partying. We went all the way to Texas. Everybody had the shirts on. Everybody bought in. People walking around with jerseys. I'm sitting up in the president of the Dolphins box. People walking around, tank for Tua. They had their Tua jerseys. They already bought in. Humphrey, exactly. Humphrey over there at the Chargers. He's supposed to be at, of course, if it was up to Brian Flores, that's who would have been over there. They'd have been winning like the Chargers right now. Flores ain't want nothing to do with this guy. Big tug of war. I don't want this fucking dude. The dude comes in for whatever he showed Brian Flores. He showed Brian Flores he is what he is right now today. He's basically quit, in my opinion. In my opinion, the dude quit. In my opinion, the dude quit last year. When he got the other concussion, he quit then. When the team was like, okay, we need to discuss whether or not you're going to come back or not, I think Buddy quit right then. You feel me? And so, again, when you're a football team, you got to depend on your football head coach. You can't listen to the fans. That's why I love so much about winning organizations. Winning organizations like the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat can have a down year, but just rest assured they're going to come back because they don't give a shit about what these damn reporters in Miami and these radio hosts have to say. They don't care. They don't care what you say. Pat Riley is going to run his shit the way Pat Riley going to run his shit. But unfortunately with the Miami Dolphins, and there's a lot of friends I have over there, I may not be invited back to the big suite anymore, and I think I've been kicked out of the suite because of how outspoken I am, but I'm going to keep it a buck when it comes to my town. I'm going to keep it a buck. They don't have to invite me in the big suite no more. Fuck it. I'm cool with that. I can buy my own goddamn suite. Been there, did that, bought the T-shirt if I choose to do that. But at the same time, my point to these folks is this. The Dolphins listen to the media. They worry about what the fuck Omar Kelly writes, what the hell Dave Hyde writes, what everybody got to write. They worry about what Joe Rose is saying in the morning. They run the team through the fucking media, just like they did this year when they got rid of Chris Grill. Oh, everybody, they pushed that Chris Grill narrative on all these people. Chris Grill got to go. He's the problem. Chris Grill got to go. And I always ask the question. And I do this Andy Slater sports radio show every Tuesday. I ask the question. You know, in the movies, the black guy is always the guy who get killed first. In the movies, the black guy is always his fault. On the streets, the black guy is always the guy who's committing the crime. But I ask people this. I say, Greer did his fucking job. Greer, I say, look at this roster. Tell me where on this roster that Greer mismanaged or he did not get the players he was supposed to get on his roster. Tell me. You got Waddle. You got 10. Tyreek Hill. You got H.N. He drafted him. Y'all wanted Tua. Y'all fired Brian Flores. Y'all wanted Tua. He got a defense coordinator who's doing good. Got him over here. Lost out on the other defense coordinator when it ended up winning the motherfucking Super Bowl with the Eagles. Y'all have all this shit on the field. This is not. This team ain't Carolina, not Carolina, but Nashville. This team ain't the Raiders. This team ain't Cleveland. They traded pieces away to winning teams. This man really loaded this fucking roster. So who the first person to fire? Greer, the media. Greer. No, it's The general manager job is to do what? Bring in players, him and the coach. The coach job is to coach the team. If the general manager had a roster like Cleveland, and I'm going to get to them in a minute, if their roster was like Cleveland, if it was like the Raiders, then you could say malpractice by the general manager. So everybody wanted the general manager to throw it off the boat as if that was going to solve the fucking problem. No, that did not solve the problem. They won some games with some sorry-ass team, ran their ass up to Pittsburgh, never won a game in 40 degrees. So that's why it's going to be very hard to get rid of Tua, because who wants a quarterback who has never won a fucking football game in the NFL 40 degrees and under? So my point to all this is, the Miami Dolphins, everybody else in the fan base, they need to do one thing. They need to do three things. One, you need to issue Brian Flores a fucking apology. Somebody in the organization need to come out and say it. I don't give a shit who feelings it hurt. People's feelings get hurt every day when they're being told the honest truth. Because there's such thing, and I really believe there's such thing called the football gods. And you're going to continuously have jinx on you. They need to issue Brian Flores an apology. Damn, they're trying and interview him to get the fucking job. Yeah, what's up, Reigns? You fuckers. You don't distract me, Reigns. They need to issue him an apology. That's number one. Number two, they need to go ahead and fire the damn coach. They need to go and get Shedeur, defensive coordinator, because they did Don Shula wrong. You take that jinx off you. You take two jinx off you, Miami Dolphins. Apologize to Flores. If you're still in court with him, you can pay this man whatever the fuck he wants. Shula, next head coach, let him go get an offensive coordinator. Matter of fact, you can offer the offensive coordinator job to goddamn to the head coach right now, because that's all he is an offensive coordinator. You need to get rid of Tua. I told these people to draft Shedeur. I said, listen, let me tell you, I gave them some business sense. I said, think about it. Tua is going to go bad. Look at my tweets. If you go on X and look at my tweets, I say Tua is going to go bad. I said it on the Andy Slater show. I say he's going to go bad. It's just a matter of time. That train is going to go bad. So if you go and you draft Shedeur and you bring him in, as soon as Tua go bad, if he go run into somebody and says head hurt or whatever the hell happened, he is not your future. You got your future as a backup. Tua gets benched. Right now, they just benched Tua today. They just benched him. If you haven't heard, they just benched him. Here we go to head coach.
Is complicated but simple. The simple piece is I think Quinn gives this team the best chance to win. Our focus is obviously to win the next 3 games, but in particular, like I tell the players, we are focused on beating the Bengals, so that was the motivation. Zach will be backing him up, and Tua will be the emergency third.
And what was the thinking in having Tua be the third as opposed to the backup?
I think it was the best for all parties involved, Quinn, Zach, and Tua.
Mike?
Emergency third. This man went from the starter to scout team. He's emergency third. He's off the fucking roster, basically. He ain't even the backup to the backup who's starting. Something else went on. They realized what I told them all the time, that this dude had quit and wanted to quit. And when you emergency, that means you're like never going to get in the game. Don't even put on your jock strap. Matter of fact, you can go out there with flip-flops. That means 2 people before you got to get injured before you even go out there. How the fuck did you go from the starter 1 week to emergency backup? But that's that's irrelevant to this conversation. The conversation, I told these people around here on all of my media platforms, they don't listen. All these fucking people are experts. Let me tell you something about these people who work in the NFL. They're not experts. Don't think for one minute. These people are not smart at all. When you have organizations who have lost on continuous basis for years and years and years, centuries and shit, in 20 and 30 years, and they win a fucking playoff game, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They make you believe that they know what the hell they're doing, but they don't know. They don't use common sense. Common sense was listen to my coach, Brian Flores. He did all these extensive interviews and stop listening to the goddamn fans. That's just like the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers don't listen to nobody. They bring in who they want to bring in, play who they want to play, and win championships after championships, but not the Miami Dolphins. Not the University of Miami Hurricanes, by the way. We're going to talk about that in that game. For some odd reason, they got to sit there and listen to what the fans say. Fuck the fans. Fuck the media. I'm saying that right now. Yeah, fuck Luke. I find somebody who's been hitting that shit out the ballpark. Find somebody who's been hitting it out the ballpark on a consistent basis, and you might need to fucking hire them. Hey, look here, man. This dude, he's been saying this shit for years. Everything he said for us to do, we didn't do it. Everything this dude, hey, look here, man. That's how you find great things. Right now, if I want to look for an artist, and that kid been putting out song after song after song, and people have loved him, like him. I might not like the first joint, and then he come out with another joint, and locally he's hot. Everybody love him. I gotta, regardless of whether I like it or not, I gotta take notice, and I gotta bring this kid in. I gotta see what the hell going on with him and see, how he moving. But unfortunately, that's not the Miami Dolphins. They got it all figured out. They're going to go and hire some other dummy as the general manager. And like I said, I was breaking it out. Get Shula. Bring Shula in here with Alonzo Highsmith. Here we go again. Same shit. I'm going to start charging these people for my, I'm going to start people giving consultation fee. Campbell's Consulting. Hey, here we go. Another one for you Miami Dolphins. Bring Shula in as a head coach. He'll get a great offensive coordinator. Tell him he has to be the defense coordinator and the head coach. That's number one. Bring Alonzo Highsmith in as the general manager. You're going to win. Cut whatever deal you need to cut with Tua. Get his ass the hell up out of here. Let these guys build a new program. They already got some good pieces in place. It's just a matter of them bringing in a quarterback. Hey, look, you got an opportunity to see in these guys whether they're going to be able to perform at quarterback right now. And that's it. Find you a way to go get to a Virginia in the building. I like to see y'all, Virginia. I love y'all. All right. Speaking of, and here's where this man Tua quit. Look at this interview. This right after the game.
Some things offensively that we were doing.
Can you believe that? Yeah, I need y'all to listen to this shit again. This is Tua talking about his team and what they were doing. I guess we are technical. We can't get that up. All right. Well, basically, the man ain't had shit to say. He's worried about what offensively, what we were doing. Offensively, we weren't doing nothing. He couldn't even tell you what they were doing wrong. He had no idea as to what happened. So it was automatically, he was basically throwing, he just like he threw his team up under the bus at the beginning of the year and had to go back and apologize to them. He threw the offensive coordinator, which is the head coach, up under the bus. Speaking of throwing people under the bus, listen, man, I can't make this shit up, right? These folks get on TV, right? Shedeur Sanders, like my nephew, love him to death. Is my good friend, prime son. So let me just get that love him to get like he's one of my kids. I find it funny how the media gets on TV. Oh, Shedeur threw 3 interceptions. Oh, he threw 3 interceptions. Oh my God, he had a bad game. It was as if they all were sitting there waiting, which they were. After the 300 and some yards game, they wanted to downplay that. Oh, it was just a sorry team he played. They were 1 and whatever. Nah, they're an NFL team. Oh, he threw 3 interceptions against the Bears. Oh, this, that. But I love the fans. I love you guys. I love you guys who break this shit down, because these people on TV want you to believe. They think they really talking to themselves right now, because most of them played themselves behind this Shedeur thing, because this Shedeur thing ain't just a black thing. It ain't a white thing. This is a people thing. It ain't that. You got more white people commenting on, hey, this shit ain't right. Then you have black people. You know, this is a universal situation, which they're making this kid out of martyr, which I love it. You know, God say he works in a mysterious way. This is the mysterious way he works. Because everybody can see, unlike these Rex Ryans and all these people of the world, everybody can see the bullshit. It's amazing, right? You'll have Colin come on there on the herd, and at the beginning of the week, he'll be saying one thing, and then he'll see people pushing back on his comments, and then he'll just change his whole tune to be like, yeah, no, Shedeur. He'll change. These guys are changing their tune about Shedeur in midweek after they just said some dumb shit at the beginning of the week, like some real hateful shit, like, oh, he ain't this and he ain't that, he ain't him, all that, like, oh, he played horrible, oh, he threw 3 interceptions, and then the people, you guys, will get online and break that shit down to the Lord's terms. Look at the fucking offensive lineman. Look, this dude can't block a dog. Look at this here. Look at the blocking scheme. You got 3 people over here trying to block 2 people, and you got 3 people coming at the man. So I love it. And y'all keep doing y'all shit. Y'all keep breaking it down, because these people, they're under the belief that they believe that they could tell us, these people on TV, that they could tell us it's a duck, and it's not a duck, it's a fucking dog. They get on there, oh, it's a duck, it's a duck. No, it's a dog. It's a dog. It's not a duck. And so they want to believe that they're telling us, they're making us believe something they want us to believe. They want to control the narrative, but I love it. I love these people. I love these people. I love America. I just love everything about America, because we ain't with the bullshit. Y'all done played yourself. Everybody on TV, you done fucking played yourself, because at the end of the day, they jump on the beginning of the week. He played bad. He threw 3 interceptions. Mind you, one of the interceptions hit Jerry Jeudy dead in his fucking chest, and he just gave the man the ball. Shots out to Jerry Jeudy. You gotta get shit together, boss. You from the crib. You from the crib, Jerry Jeudy. You better than that, goddammit. Jerry Jeudy, you from the crib. You making us look bad. I got motherfuckers like Warren Sapp on here trying to, tell us that, we ain't it. We are it. Then you got the other interception, where it was batted down. It was tipped. It was a tipped ball. That was the second interception. Then you can't run the football. Then you got the man that's under duress, like serious duress. Nobody on the offensive line is blocking. You got 2 people from the taxi squad on there, and then the other guys who's supposed to be starting ain't starting. So the man running for his fucking life, but then they don't want to say that, oh, he had a bad game, as if he was just standing up in the pocket, doing like Tua, throwing the ball to the wrong person, and not giving a fuck. So it's great to see people cape for this young man, because it's all bullshit. I love it. It's all bullshit. It is bullshit. Yeah, Flex, I agree. The Cowboys is horrible. That's my team. Yes, we're horrible. So I love the fact that when they do that. But then here's an example. Here's an example of not just black people watching this whole Shedeur thing. Here's an example when it came to a quarterback, and you ain't even hearing this shit. You ain't even hearing this shit on no on TV. They ain't harping on this. Here's a kid, a quarterback, who's at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. He lost. He lost at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Did not win. What did he do after is what you need to see.
Where we live in two Americas, because if Diego Pavia was a black quarterback who got 189 first place votes, lost out on the Heisman to Fernando Mendoza, obviously, got 189 first place votes, that black quarterback goes on Instagram and says F all the voters, oh my God, can you imagine what Rex Ryan would say? And then that night after he doesn't win the Heisman, he goes clubbing and he has bottle girls hold up a placard that says fuck Indiana. Tell me, just entertain, what would happen if Shedeur Sanders did that?
See what I'm saying? What would happen if Shedeur Sanders did it? See, that's a white guy breaking this shit down. That's a white guy breaking this shit down. What would happen if Shedeur Sanders did that? Everybody can see it. What would happen if Shiloh would have did it? You don't hear this. You don't hear this. This kid is getting ready to be drafted. One of the top teams who should have been in the playoff. And he go to the club and bring shit. You know how when they bring the big old bottle thing and the sparklers and all that, man, put on my shit. Fuck the voters. Oh, he would have never got into the draft room, but they'll forget about that. That's the way it works. They'll forget about when Johnny Manziel said what he had to say. They'll forget about when Josh Allen said what he had to say. Not Josh Allen, but the old boy over there at Buffalo. He had some choice words also. They forgot about that. They forget about a lot of things. Like Ryan Clark. He forgot about all those different guys. He forgot about all those other guys who did the same thing Sherrone Moore did. But never said, nobody never said that they would never get an opportunity. Again, never said that, the white community is going to be in bad shape. All the white coaches are not going to get an opportunity. Never said that. He never said anything about Rick Pitino and what he was doing up under the table in the restaurant. Ryan Clark. Never said anything about Lane Kiffin. Never said anything about Les Miles. Never said anything about Rich Rodriguez. Never said anything about Sarkisian. Never said anything about Chris Foster. Never said anything about the Pelini. They never said nothing about none of these people. Some of this y'all hearing for the first time. Y'all like, what the fuck is Luke talking about? Ryan Clark and those people on TV never said anything about none of those people who I just named, and all of them did the same fucking thing Sherrone Moore did. I don't condone what Sherrone Moore did. He dead ass wrong. His ass supposed to be fired like a motherfucker. But to get on the TV and say all black coaches will be affected by what he did, and that's not true. Because you had another jackass at Michigan State. He did the same thing, similar. But how many brothers got hired after he did? So you're gonna put Sherrone Moore in the same class as the new Virginia Tech coach who's at Penn State? You're gonna put him in the same class as that? You're gonna put Sherrone Moore in the same class as Mike Tomlin? You gonna put Sherrone Moore in the same class as fucking Huff? You gonna put him in the same class as Willie Simmons? Come on, don't do no shit like that. I'm not gonna stand by that. But the problem that I have with that is ESPN. You allow that to happen. But you kick Jamel Hill off the TV. You kicked Jemele Hill off the TV when she had some choice words for Donald Trump. See how this shit go? See how this shit go? You see how this shit go? Soon as she disagreed, I had some choice words, and Trump then sent a letter to ESPN. What ends up happening? Jemele Hill canceled. What happened when Joy Reid had some choice words for Donald Trump, like every other white person on TV? Canceled. Really? So my point to all this is this. My point to all this is this. Is it, and y'all, I'm asking y'all, is it that these networks like ESPN, part of your job is to tear down, part of your job as a black man is to tear down other black men. And if you can't tear down other black men and give white men and women a pass, then you cannot work for our network. Ryan Clark wasn't always like that. Stephen A. Smith wasn't always like that. Stephen A. Smith was hardcore black. Matter of fact, when I peeped Stephen A. Smith turning like that, it was after he got suspended. And somebody sat him down and probably told him, hey, Stephen A. Smith, look here, man. And I like Stephen A. Smith. I have a conversation with him because he's evolved into trying to balance the shit off, because Stephen A. Smith came in black and he was too fucking black. And then they had to check him because he would tell you, oh, hold on, I can say this. I got sisters that's black. I got mama that's black. I'm black. I'm real. I'm a nigga. I'm a real brother. He would say that. Then he got suspended. If you've been following Stephen A. Smith's career, he got suspended when he was too super black. They sent him home and say, you need to think about it. You need to think about it. If you want to be on this network, you can't be pro-black like that. You can't be the angry black man. You got to balance that shit out. Stephen A. Smith came back. He was a totally different person. He became a person that I did not like. And I tweeted that I don't like this Stephen A. Smith. You caping. You looking like a house nigga. He became that kind of guy. Who called me? Who called me? The same girls that he beefing with right now. Jemele Hill called me and say, Luke, Stephen ain't like that, Luke. He a good dude, man. He helped all us out, man. Stephen A. Smith is a good dude, man. Luke, man, real talk, man. He is a good brother. He's a good brother. He helped a lot of people get on at ESPN. And when Jemele Hill told me that, I was like, oh, okay. I respect that. You know the brother, you and the brother work together. You know the people that he supported. You know other brothers and sisters that he supported, and I respect that. So I backed the fuck up. Me and Steve, I even went and did Stephen A. Smith's show after that, after Jemele Hill. So then it's kind of funny that they're beefing right now. It's not funny. It's bad. It's a tragedy. It's fucking tragedy. This girl who checked me on him, they're beefing for the same thing that I had a problem with. This it's interesting. Kerry Champion, my good friend Joy Reid. I mean, Stephen A. Smith's taking all the smoke from all these people who are in his industry, who all these women who were canceled because of their tough stance as black women and black people, and now you're beefing with them. He has to get his shit together. But then going back to the actual point that I'm trying to make in with Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith kind of found a balance, but Ryan Clark is over there right now after Stephen A. got suspended. Ryan Clark is murdering black people, in my opinion. And it shouldn't be like that. I even heard him sitting on there talking about Mike Tomlin. You can't go from saying Mike Tomlin gave you the opportunity because you was too small, you was this, you was that. Everybody said all these things about you, and you came in and you just said, fuck it, I'm just knock people the hell out because I'm tired of people saying I'm too this, I'm too that, I ain't this, I ain't that. And so Mike Tomlin gave me an opportunity, and I took advantage of the opportunity. And because of Mike Tomlin, I'm sitting here, then you gonna turn around right now and have all this smoke for Mike Tomlin talking about he need to be fired. Come on, bro. That's hypocritical. There's words for that in the dictionary. Hello. Tearing down another brother. But then going back to this kid who just went and did some crazy shit, did you jump on him? It's 1,000 other quarterbacks that play like absolute shit. It's 1,000 other teams that play like absolute shit. It's 1,000 other players that play like absolute shit from all different walks of life, all different races, creeds, colors, and all that you could talk about. But the cute thing to talk about is black men. Cute thing to talk. Whitlock, listen, man, Whitlock, I don't even fuck with no Whitlock. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Whitlock, in my opinion, is a piece of shit. I don't bother with no Whitlock. Let me give y'all a story. And I'm going off my program. But it is a part of the program of what are these black people. Whitlock is the example of tear down a black person. Whitlock is overboard. Whitlock is overboard. These guys try to play around with it. They still have, and I want Stephen A. Smith and I want Ryan Clark to win. I want them to find himself. I want Ryan Clark to find himself. I really do. I don't want this brother off TV. I want this brother because he's very articulate. He knows the game like a motherfucker. He knows the game. He knows the game. But I need him to balance this shit off. I'm always the voice of reason. When Mike Epps and Shannon Sharp was talking about fighting each other and all that shit, I first want to get on the thing. Hey, look at man, y'all chill the fuck out. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. Y'all teaching these kids some bad shit. Y'all teaching these kids the very thing that we're trying to prevent these kids from doing, which is getting on social media and screaming on each other. And that's why I say this to say this. I want Ryan Clark to win. I need him to win for more reasons than one, because he's the perfect person of the job. But I don't need him to win by sacrificing us. I don't need him to win by grouping all black coaches with Sharon Moore. I want you to get on that motherfucker and say, Sharon Moore, you did some fucked up shit. What you did was wrong. You let them kids down. You let the university down. You let everybody down. You let your family down. You let your kid down and all that, and leave that shit right there. But don't go to talk about you let all black coaches down, because black coaches will be affected by this. No, you're flaming the fire. You're giving these people who don't want to hire black coaches, qualified coaches, you're giving them a reason to not fucking interview black coaches, because half of them don't want to do that. Look at the SEC. How many black coaches in the SEC? When all these black kids in there, how many black coaches that have a football team in the NFL that's relevant? Only time a black coach get a football team in the NFL is when they want the coach to tank. That shit in the New York Jets. As soon as they get all them draft picks and get all them players, they're going to fire him. And he's going to get another defensive coordinator job somewhere else. That's what they do. They fired the brother in Denver. As soon as they got all them draft picks, they fired the shit out of his ass and they brought in somebody else. They fired that shit. Hell. My good friend was over there in Cleveland. He tanked in Cleveland. They got all the draft picks and they brought in Stefanski. And he did shit. They did the shit at Miami Dolphins. Brian Flores, tank for Tua. They brought in all these draft picks, and they found that's what happens in the NFL. SEC black coaches ain't getting a job. There's a lot of black qualified coaches. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. You can't name in P4, you can't name 10 black offensive coordinators. You can't name 10 black quarterback coaches, because the quarterback coach is directly tied to the offensive coordinator, which ultimately ends up getting you a job. I'm just saying. Don't shoot me. I just keep it a buck. So when a guy like Ryan Clark gets on TV and say what he say, and I interact with all these coaches on a daily basis to see how they get disenfranchised and see how they get treated like shit, I can't stand to hear no shit like that. That's where I'm coming from. James Franklin, correct. You can't group Sharon Moore in with James Franklin. James Franklin is a fucking... You can't group him in with Freeman. Come on, Ryan Clark. You know better than that. You can't be an articulate nigga and then all of a sudden be so dumb on a certain question. Ooh, that's deep. You can't be an articulate brother and be so dumb on a certain subject. Ooh. That's moving right along. Speaking about dumb. Look at this shit.
A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. So he became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
I mean, that's hard. That is so hard. Talk to me, chat. Do you agree with Donald Trump? Do you think he should have made those statements like that about Rob Ryan? Talk to me, chat. Come on, people in the chat. I need to hear from y'all. I need to hear from y'all. Do y'all agree with this guy, Donald Trump, in his opinion, assessment of Rob Ryan? Now, Rob Ryan, if you don't know who Rob Ryan is, Rob Ryan produced a whole bunch of top-of-the-line shows. One of his most famous shows was Archie Bunker. If y'all young, y'all don't know the Archie Bunker show. Y'all don't, what's the name of the show? The Archie Bunker show. Shit. I got a brain freeze. But Rob Ryan was a very outspoken person in politics. He had a problem with Trump. He said a lot of bad things about Trump, like a lot of other Americans who said a lot of bad things about Trump. And unfortunately, that's what it is. That's the deal. You know, yeah, all in the family. Thank you. Thank you. All in the family. And if you look at All in the Family show, Rob Ryan, they would talk about political issues. If you go back and look at those, Archie was a racist. His wife was, she was a ding dong. And Rob would get into these conversations with Archie, which everybody would talk about, which would be conversations about how Black folks interact with white people, and it was always political conversation. So Rob Ryan really believed in that. And the show was so great at that time, which is so amazing. Now, this show went on, All in the Family show was on God knows how long ago. Well, tell me in the chat, what year did All in the Family show come on TV? What year in the chat? Now, you're talking about 1971. You're talking about a show that was on in 1971, All in the Family. And they were talking about the same exact issues that affect us right here, right now. White supremacy, that's Archie. Rob Ryan, and he would call him stupid. How blacks be disenfranchised by whites, jobs and everything. If you go back and look at All in the Family right now, correct, I agree. Archie is Trump. If you look at that show, think about it. Now, I'm going to take y'all down a rabbit hole that y'all ain't nobody took y'all down. I'm going to take you down a real rabbit hole right here. Think about America today. Think about 1971. They were writing this shit in 1971 about blacks being disenfranchised by whites. You had a white man on there saying blacks are being disenfranchised by white. Racism should not be in this country. You had a white man, two white men arguing. One white man for equality, one white man for affirmative action, and one white man not for affirmative action. That was basically the show. And so we're talking 1971. Fast forward to 2025. Why would Donald Trump tweet some shit like that? I grew up in that era. Some of y'all grew up in that era. Who's the super voter? I'm 60-some years old. Get ready to have another birthday right now. That was my fucking era. My era, us seniors, us 40 and older, we're the ones who vote 100%. And so not only have I looked at All in the Family, but those racist people who think like Archie, who's still on this earth, and what you call them are mega. If that show came on right now, Archie would be fucking mega. MAGA. Archie would be MAGA. They would love that show. But it's playing out in real time in the White House because Trump is fucking MAGA. Trump is MAGA. I'm sorry. It's playing out in real time because Trump is Archie. Trump is Archie. So why would Trump make a statement about Rob Ryan, this man whose son allegedly slit him and his wife's neck? When their disturbed son who has mental issues, allegedly have mental issues, go and slit the mom and the dad neck. And for the president of the United States. Now, here, a known racist person, Charlie Kirk, they lowered the fucking flags to half staff. Let's honor Charlie Kirk. The guy who talks about black people, he don't want black people on no. I don't want to get on no plane with no black people. I don't think black people should be no doctors. I don't think black people should be running no aircraft. I don't know. No, fuck that. Martin Luther King was a hoe, and all that there. He did this and everything in the world that this fucking guy, Charlie Kirk, says, you want to fucking honor him. I want nobody dead. I don't want nobody unalive. I'm sorry. I don't want nobody unalive. Charlie Kirk has all the rights of his opinion. That's why I ain't fuck with no. I don't subscribe to that. I ain't look at that. You know, hey, look. When you grow up in America so long, you know KKK is over there. You know he's over here. You know them certain kind of passes and shit. You know, I don't fuck with that. I'm leading people over there. That's their business. But then now when you bring it to the forefront, why does Trump jump on Rob Ryan? Because Trump knows that there's a large part of his voting base, which is around my age, who still feels the same way about Archie Bunker, who love Charlie Kirk, who loves anything anti-black, who on that mega shit, who on that we don't like black people shit. That's like gold to them. So he jumps out there and says, fuck Rob Ryan and his wife. My condolences of them dead, but they deserve to be dead because he was so hell-bent on hating me. Can you believe that? That's where we at. That's where we at. It's three-folds of that, what I just gave y'all. 1971, Archie Bunker. I want you to go over there. If y'all too young and you never saw All in the Family, I want you to go over there because they're trying to erase black history, but they ain't fucking with white history. But white history is still there. Go look at them damn art. Go look at All the Family show and tell me the things that they're discussing on that show is not the things that are happening in America right now today when it becomes a race issue, when it becomes DEI. See, DEI, they made up DEI. They wanted to get rid of affirmative action. And everything that's happening. Archie Bunker felt a certain type of way about affirmative action at that time and DEI at that time. Archie Bunker felt the same way Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, and all the rest of them, Charlie Kirk, and all the motherfuckers feel in 1971. Rob Ryan was on that debate. Rob Ryan probably ain't even need no fucking script. Say, let that motherfucker talk shit. I don't need no fucking script. I can sit here and debate this motherfucker all day about being fair and impartial to all Americans because I love all Americans. That's what you got, people. That's what you got. This is where we at. That's why right now, when there's a Black Lives Matter protest, it's about black love, black respect. And that's why the protests become all shapes, sizes, and colors. That's why I don't hate white people or Hispanic people. I love and fuck with people who believe in what's right. There's a lot of black people that believe in what's wrong that I don't fuck with. Stephen A. Ryan Clark. Now I fuck with Stephen A. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that feel a certain type of way, people. So you got to fuck with people that's right and not selling us down the rabbit hole. That's why I'm telling you, man, I struggle every day. Every day I struggle, people. I struggle because I get on here, I know better. I have a platform. You guys love me. You love hearing what I'm talking about. I know I can make a difference. I really know I can make a difference. I'm sitting there, man. Look, man, I don't like being that guy sitting on the sideline just, y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. I'm the type of person that get in the game. Everything I did, everything I've done in my life, if I saw my community fucked up, I went down to the city commission meeting. I went down to the county meeting. I went down to Tallahassee and protest and stood up and spoke before the Capitol. I got in the game. I always get in the game. So I can do so many things that have done in my community and support the right people, whether it's Democrat or Republican. My mayor was a fucking Republican. One of my best friends right now today, Francis Flores, he termed out. He sits up there talking with Trump, inviting him to the White House. But I can go to him at any given time for any issue that concerns our people in my community, and I can get it done. It's not a partisan thing, it's a people thing. And so I struggle every day saying, man, I don't want to run for office, but I might have to run for office. I might have to get in the game. Either governor or fucking Congress, because I'm gonna have to go down there to Washington. Do you want me to get, and me and Jesus and God keep talking all the time. I'm like, God, are you pointing me the direction of going to Washington? Or are you gonna point me in the direction of running for governor and staying in the state? Which direction you want me to go in? And so we having these conversations all night, me, God, Jesus Christ, three others. Because I'm sick and tired of getting on this thing right here and talking to y'all about the obvious. I'm sick and tired of sitting there talking about the obvious. Some of us have to get in the game. Like my brother Roland Martin, so smart, so intelligent, so articulate. No, I'm tired of you talking on this fucking YouTube. I need you to get in the game. I need you to run for office. Hey, some of y'all disagree with Stephen A. Smith. If Stephen A. Smith run for office, I would love it. I would love it. Because even if you win, you make light of the issues when you're going against the opponent. And then It's the determination as to if you all want us to serve. And if you all want things to be the same way it is, then you status quo. Hey, at least we tried to get in the game and help. We can gracefully go sit our ass down and get back on these platforms and talk what we need to talk. I need Jamel Hill to run for office. I need Don Lemon to run for office. I need goddamn Joy Reid to run for office. That is a brilliant mind, that lady. By the way, I'm gonna have her on the show. So these are the things, these are the issues and the shit that we deal with on a daily basis, people. I mean, hey, I love doing the show. I love talking to y'all. I love giving y'all a different perspective as the things that are going on in the world. But right now, I got to talk about the institution called the University of Miami. We get ready to go up there to Texas and play Texas A&M. We're going to beat the shit out of Texas A&M. Everybody keep talking. Now the narrative has changed. Oh, Miami has never played in the front of 100,000 people at the stadium and all that. Now they're trying to figure out whether we can play in the front of 100. Man, we play in the front of 70,000 people. One thing about Miami fans is not like Texas A&M fans. When you play at the University of Miami, you play in front of millions of people. The stadium may not be full up. It does get filled up when there's a real game going on in there, 65,000 people, but we have a whole community here. And this community is very harsh when it comes to football. We ain't no fan of no garbage playing football. If you play like trash, you're going to have to stay in the house until you play good. You don't get that in that wherever Texas that is. They don't get that because they live in this little college town and they go out there, play bad and get beat. Then they go walk around, all the little girls still blowing smoke up their ass, and all the little boys thinking they the best thing since sliced bread. This is a big city, boss. You play like shit here, you're going to hear it. Whether you go to the 7-Eleven, you're going to hear it. You go to McDonald's, the McDonald's person, oh, hell no, you play like shit. I shouldn't even give you no damn food. You're going to be reminded on a regular basis that you play like trash. So you have to deal with the entire city of Miami. We don't play that. But the beautiful thing about it, our kids are playing at a very high level. I don't think Mario can fuck this up. I'm going to just keep it above. I really don't. Mario can't fuck this up because Shannon Dawson can't fuck it up. Our defensive coordinator is going to be well prepared. I love him to death. I think he's doing an absolute great job. He's going to have them guys ready to go. If they call outright 21 lead, we're going to block every motherfucking body and we're going to lead our way into the end zone. They can't even fuck it up. All plays are good plays. All plays are good plays. I'm keeping it up. Nobody gonna fuck this up because we going up in that stadium with an attitude. We going up in that stadium with an attitude because y'all already tried us, which is the beautiful part about bringing Miami back to who Miami really is. Miami is part of our thing is it's us against the world. It's us against the world. Part of our thing, and they made it like that. When they put us in Penn State, not Penn State, but Notre Dame, Notre Dame, this argument, Notre Dame, Miami, Notre Dame. No, fuck that. We beat them. So they had us on the outside looking in. Yeah, large part of it. We put ourselves in a position, in a predicament. But right now, this is different charges of water. This is, I don't give a fuck what they call over here because it's 11 against 11. I don't care what play they call. All it is, Beck don't throw the ball to the wrong person. But if they call the run play, we blocking every damn person out there to block. We're going to block them all. Two people ain't accounted for, the free safety and the quarterback. We laying it all out on the line. Everybody keeps saying, oh, this is a tough way to go. You got to go through Texas A&M. Then you got to beat Ohio State. Oh, we want Ohio State. Oh, we want y'all in a bad way. You better pray to God. Ohio State, pray to God we don't get another shot at their ass. Dallas, Texas, the 31st at Jerry World. Jerry World wasn't shitting at my Dallas Cowboys. They weren't shitting until they had Miami players in there and the Miami coach. We feel right at home in Dallas. So, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed myself today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. If there's anything in the chat right now you want to ask me, please feel free to do so. But make sure you follow me on my YouTube page. Follow me on my YouTube page. That's Uncle Luke TV. Follow me on X. Some of you good folks are on X. How y'all doing? I see you over there, Coach. Coach Busby. I see you over there, Walter Campbell. Walter, are you kin folks to me? I mean, are you people from Jamaica? When I see the Campbell name, it's like, you know, my dad from Jamaica, he Campbell, and my mom is from Bahamas, and her people were the Stirrup families, you know, Galloway Stirrups. Let me know, Walter. Rice and peas one day, peas and rice the next day. You like the hoodie? You like the hoodie? That's the gray. I put the gray on y'all ass. I know y'all. Hey, look here, man. Let me just say this here. I put the hoodie on to make you people who in these cold cities feel good. Because it's not cold here. It's hot in the motherfucker. See what I got on? A hoodie and shorts. It is hot in the motherfucker here. And I'm hot. I'm burning up with this hoodie on, by the way. But you people in them cold cities, get your hoodie. Go to LukeRecords.com. That's what this show is sponsored by. It's sponsored by my own gear. Because I listen, I wanted to be sponsored by my own gear because at the same time, I get to say what I want to say when I want to say it and how I want to say it. That's the most important thing, to be liberated. You can do what you want to do, say what you want to say, and however you want to say it. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But once again, I love you guys. It's snowing. Where you at? It's snowing in DC. Tell Sap. Okay. Hey man, listen. I like I said, I enjoy myself on here. Please go and follow me on all my social media pages. I try to engage with people on a consistent basis. Instagram, Uncle Luke Real One, X, Uncle Luke Real One. That's my handle on those places right over there. Facebook is Uncle Luke on Facebook. Go to my Facebook fan page and follow me over there. You know, I got some great people, some great interaction over there. And on TikTok, I'm over there. That's Uncle Luke 305 on TikTok. And like I say, I enjoyed myself. I see you guys on Friday. Friday, I'm going to go to the fight. I'm going to the Jake fight. Netflix hit me up. They say they want me to come and fight. They're going to send me a car and all this here. I'm going to go. Yeah, for Denver, warm in Denver, right. Y'all will be frozen in a minute. Okay, Lisa Bell, how you doing? I love you guys. I enjoyed the show. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you got something out of it. Next time, invite somebody else. We will be replaying the show throughout the day and in the morning. So you check for the notifications. But at the same time, if you miss any Luke show, you can always go to YouTube. That's Uncle Luke TV, YouTube, and you can check out any of those great shows, the shows with Trick Daddy, the shows with Warren Sapp, the shows with some great University of Miami people. They're all on YouTube. Go to Uncle Luke TV. But like I always say, in the words of Walter Cronkite, one of the greatest reporters, one of the greatest anchors of all time, may the good news be yours and only yours.
Pull out the stick, come shoot that. Booty poke out like a book bag. Booty poke out like a book bag. Pull over ass too fast. Come we gonna bring that Uncle Luke back.